All right, this is Mike Fitzgerald. We're at the grand opening of Larger Than Life Toys and Comics. I'm here with The Dark Knight. All right. Well, obviously your costume is inspired by the films. Now, this is obviously inspired by, are there different versions for each of the two films, such as the Batman Begins and The Dark Knight?
Yeah, the initial suit is it's a larger suit. It's bulkier. It's got a more solid look to it. The idea is that it's a survival suit built of multiple layers of protection. It was built for the armed forces, but was deemed at about $300,000 a suit, a little too expensive, for the average soldier. So, of course, Wayne Tech, having built it, has it in the archives. Mr. Wayne gets to borrow the copy, and the first bat suit begins. Moving into the second movie, there is a need for, beginning in the film, you see that the armor is heavy, and it's slowing Batman down, and he wants something that's a little bit lighter, something with segments, to be able to still protect him, but be able to move faster. And then the other, the best part, in my opinion, is for the first time I get a cowl where I can turn my head. Previously, the cowls that were built are a one-piece unit from tip down to where they're connected, and a lot of times they're physically connected to the armor itself, so that the only way you can turn your head is to swivel your whole body. But with this, you get a great mobility. So
this is the streamlined suit from the Dark Knight. Okay, so I'm going to ask you, how did you build this armor?
Well, it was a couple of different steps. The base suit itself was produced by a company in Canada that's licensed to produce motorcycle outerwear based on various movies. They do the DC Comics films, Marvel. They've just acquired the license for Star Wars, and they also did replica suits for the latest Tron film. So this suit, at least the pants, the jacket, and the gloves were the initial part of the suit. I added boots. I had a previous set of boots that I bought. You can find them all over Amazon, basically, but they weren't. They were very inexpensive, I guess is the best way to put it. They just weren't matching up, to what I wanted for the quality of the suit. And then from there as well, this suit initially came with the gauntlets were full leather. And the chest plate was actually a leather piece too, and I replaced those with a custom molded piece.
So these pieces, the gauntlets and this chest piece, you had custom. Mm-hmm. Could you show the detail on the gauntlets? Now it has.
They do have in the film, these fins would actually be razor sharp, and they would shoot out like a projectile for them. The initial gauntlets that I had that came with the suit were actually, and they're really beautiful. They're a crafted item out of leather. Everything's beveled. They actually have leather molded tips on the gauntlets too. I just found I wanted something that looked a little bit more solid, a little bit more intimidating, I guess is the best way to put it. So I went with this. This particular style. This was produced by a gentleman who does molding in Australia.
Wow.
So
this, you had to have pieces made overseas.
I did have.
And
yep.
You said this,
Same thing with the chest piece. Yep.
Overseas.
Yep.
So altogether, how much would you ballpark think that it took for you to create this costume?
I think initially you were looking, the base price on the suit itself was, I believe, $12.98, and then when I started adding things, now that didn't come with a cowl. The company that was licensed to us was licensed for replica motorcycle outerwear, so not costumes. So specifically, he wasn't able to make masks. They wouldn't really fall into the genre. He had links on his page for helmets that he suggested. So I once again sought out some independent modelers and makers. Had the cowl constructed. That was another $200, and then besides that, the cape. The cape's great. If you look at the cape, when it photographs, it completely absorbs every amount of light. I mean, if you look at it on the camera, even it's black. When it photographs, it's black, and that was the whole idea. This was actually made using the same cape pattern from the films. It's a parachute silk that was designed in conjunction with the film, because originally they were using a velvet material, and it was so heavy when it got wet that basically Batman was unable to move. They had the heavy rain scenes, and he's got an extra 20 pounds of water soaked up in the cape. So this is a parachute silk, and then they've actually done a process that's called flocking, where they, at high speed, they shoot an extra material across the surface of the parachute silk to give it that kind of patterned, velvety kind of look. So all in all, and actually the cape was a gift as I started to compile various elements of the suit, and I was doing some online forum writing. I had one of my colleagues said, "I've got just the thing for you," and so that arrived in the mail, and it's been great. It's I don't know where I would get another one like it, to be honest. So.
And where did you get the cowl from? And did that have to be custom to your head?
It was not custom to my head. It's actually based on DC Comics, and DC Direct puts out a line that's called the Noble Collection. It was kind of a series of gifts. You get desk pens, stuff like that. But one of the things they put out was a reproduction cowl that was to scale, used from the molds from the film. And basically what we did was, but that was a solid plastic copy. You wouldn't have been able to put it on your head per se. So what we did is took that cowl, created a silicone mold for it, remolded it, and produced the cowl itself. And that's it's made out of urethane, so it's a little heavier duty rubber, unlike the latex, which over time, if you don't maintain it, can shrink and can degrade. This is pretty solid. It's like wearing a helmet, which is kind of nice. It kind of creates a great feel for the overall suit.
Now, does that breathe well? Are you comfortable in that?
I'm actually really comfortable. I've owned previous suits where, I had a suit from the previous 4 films that was solid rubber, and it was, like wearing a rubber suit. You wandered around and sweat and sweat and sweat, which is a great workout, I suppose. But this is designed, once again, for riding every day. So the undersuit itself is constructed of a mesh. So it breathes. I could walk down the hallway and I just feel the breeze go through. It's very nice.
So you're saying this isn't your first Batman suit?
No. I started off watching, the 1966, Adam West. So, I had pajamas, and my brother and I would construct everything from, cardboard to, growing up as kids. But the first suit I saw in a catalog after the Michael Keaton film in '89, and it was one of those things that was put out by the costuming companies, and what I thought at the time, I was like, that's ridiculous. I would never spend that amount of money on a suit like that, but stared at it and would flip through the magazines, and I came across a costuming site in college that was offering them, because they had moved from one film to the next film, so the previous film stuff was on discount, so I got a really good deal on the suit. But when I started to put it together, it was built with it was like a shirt and pants, and then it was a bunch of rubber pieces that had looked like they had been kind of, just cut out of a sheet of rubber and thrown in a box. And the cowl had a big slit up the back of it, and everything was oversized, so it could be one size fits all. So it was what it was, and I still got a lot of use out of it. But this has been my first real endeavor to create something comfortable and at the same time accurate.
So how did this become a passion for you? Obviously, you feel strongly about the character.
Well, Batman's, once again, I think Batman's always been a passion for me. I started out, once again, watching every incarnation, whether it was the Adam West show, whether, watching the cartoons in various degrees, even watching them, even going through college, that was something of a pastime. Was never, a heavy comic reader as a kid, but started to get into the comics. Just wanted to explore all the different, because you'd start to read online where people are like, I don't like this version of Batman. It's not my Batman, and so started to just read all the different stories that I could absorb. And then when I bought the initial costume, it was part, oh great, I've got a Halloween costume, and it was part, people would say, hey, can you wear the suit and come on over, and that was, my old suit, like I said, so it was, I think I noticed the imperfections more than anything else, but when this suit became available, initially, I started to look at it and said, I gotta have it, and it was one of those things where I started to, I guess, prioritize and say, okay, I've got the collection. I'd had toys still in boxes from when I was a kid, and I still have, a lot of those packed away. But it was, this was a nice piece that I not only could wear. I've done, shows, birthday parties, etc. I have 2 little girls, and they love it. They think it's the best thing in the world because they'll go to preschool and say, "Daddy's Batman." And then besides that, my wife absolutely adores, can you hear the sarcasm, the suit standing up, in my office. So I've actually constructed a little bit of a, like a form for it. So it just kind of sits there. So it's not, just sitting in a closet. But I guess that's it. I've just been absorbing everything Batman for years, and I think this will probably be the ultimate culmination. I don't think I'll be purchasing a Batmobile anytime soon, and then besides that, besides this outfit, I do have an additional outfit that's coming from the other suit maker. He produced the style for Batman Begins as well, so that'll be coming in June. But once again, that was a gift. So, so the initial investment has kind of paid off.
So it's definitely something you enjoy doing, going to events and appearing as.
Absolutely. It's nice because, once again, it gives me that chance to just kind of be. There's that fantasy level. It's like, I can come up to someone, I'm Batman. It can really, have fun with it. But at the same time, my coworkers all know about it. They are always saying, when are you going to wear the suit in again? And part of it's joking, and part of it's, we have a good time. And, I'll go in and we take pictures with kids. That's the best thing in the world, is to do an event where there's kids and just have them come up and, high five and take some pictures and have a great time. And I think the suit lends to, it's anonymous enough with the mask, the way that it's built, that you can convincingly be Batman. I don't think I would ever suit up as Superman or a Spider-Man, but with this, I think it works really well with the level of the armor, and it's a great disguise. So.
Thank you. Well, I'm going to I see a lot of little ones who might want your attention, and so I'll let you get to your work day. Thank you very much.